So it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm driving home along Route 80 East in central Pennsylvania. The reason why I wanted to cut the camera on now, it's probably hard to see me and everything, but as I'm driving, I'm just watching the sunrise come up over the mountains. I keep the radio off, just enjoy the silence a little bit. I went up to visit my son out in central Pennsylvania, a small little town in the valley between the mountains and stuff. And just being in that environment, cut off from like all the noise, all the city lights, the traffic and all that, a place where the people are a little friendlier, a little more polite, less aggressive. It makes you really start to think about how much we, in modern times, don't really ever take the time to like just enjoy the little things, you know? So it's kind of hard to see me right now, but you can see the light up on my face. I can see the sun rising right there up over the mountain, so I'll get to see a full sunrise along this drive. As I was spending time with my son, you know, when I get together with him, it's great. There's no cell phone use. We sit and talk. I talk with his grandfather, his mother's dad. Smart guy, salt of the earth kind of guy, country boy. In Pennsylvania, we call them Yinzers. The Yinzers are the people who are between Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Like I said, real salt of the earth, country grown people. Time just seems to slow down for the most part when we detach ourselves from all what's going on in the world, the political stuff, the social stuff, especially the technology. You know, I spent the entire weekend barely watching TV other than when his grandfather had the Penn State game on. You know, we just sit and talk. We talk about the things we enjoyed when he was growing up, the things that we did together, you know, as he was growing older, going hiking. And one of the things I love the most is, you know, one of the activities me and my son do together when we do see each other is we go to the gym, we work out, we exercise, do stuff like that. We do the simple things. Like last night, after we worked out, his gym where he works at was right around the corner from the river, and they were having their Labor Day weekend regatta. So they have like a little fair. It's maybe like a quarter mile, half mile long on the street right alongside the dike. And it just takes you back to a different time, a different place. The sky right now is just unbelievable. Oranges and pinks and reds, a little bit of blue. You can see the mist coming up over the mountaintops. I mean, it's serene and surreal. All the green I can see right now, as you can tell, my face is lit up because I'm facing the sun now. And it's just in these moments where you take the time to decompress. Getting out in the countryside and seeing these things. Like yesterday we went for a drive through the mountain. We went to a local Mennonite run butcher shop where he goes to get his meat. The people there are just absolutely incredibly kind and nice, greet you with a smile, you know, please and thank you and all that stuff. And it just takes you back to a simpler time. But anyway, getting back to like the fair, you know, just the smells, the funnel cake, the the sausages, the hamburgers, everything being cooked right there in the grill, the lights of all the rides, and the sounds. It just transports you to a simpler time in life, or at least what you perceived as a simpler time. And it makes you realize that despite of everything that you're seeing on the internet, and you know, I even came off a little hot in some of the MOTS that I've done before, it just reminds you that there still is some good left in humanity. And you know, when you go to a place like that and everybody's happy and smiling and enjoying a good time, you just think to yourself, why don't we do more of this? You know, as I've gotten older, I see less and less of those kind of community events. The town I live in, you know, block parties when I was a kid was a big thing. People would get together, enjoy a weekend hanging out. You know, I know my family, there used to be just like random barbecues or barbecues for holidays and birthdays, and like all that stuff is gone now, and we wonder why people today are struggling to emotionally connect or feel grounded. And you know, taking the time to just stop what you're doing and go outside, enjoy the fresh air, get some sunlight, be around some happy people. You know, it wouldn't kill anybody to just get in your car and drive and go out to the country and, you know, experience nature. And you know, I'm not really this esoteric type of guy, generally speaking, but you know, it's in those moments where you realize all this stuff that we push on ourselves, all this stress, and it just seems like we're almost self-destructing in today's world when it doesn't have to be that way. And you know, driving home, I wanted to drive home early this morning so I could just kind of sit and drive in silence, no radio, no nothing. Obviously I turned the camera on now, but just to take a moment to enjoy the quiet, the fresh country air, see the sunrise come up. It's like a reset. You know, as I'm getting ready to go home and get back to work with the week starting and going back to a very highly congested, you know, urban kind of setting, just my heartstrings are pulled to be out here. Just taking the time to separate yourself for a little while. I know a lot of people are making content where they're saying these things, but if you're one of these people who's trying to find a way to reset and drop a little bit of the stress out of your life and kind of, you know, decompress and be alone with your thoughts, you know, it wouldn't kill you to get in the car and go for a drive out in the country. Stop and talk to the people, visit some of the small shops. You know, find some water, go walk along the water like we did yesterday, and just take in the sights and the sounds. You know, that's like the best medicine. Right now, it's an amazing feeling to just kind of be out here on the road alone, driving home, watching the sunrise. It's just beautiful, it's relaxing. And there are opportunities for everybody to be able to kind of do these sort of things at a very low cost. You know, everything's so expensive. Everything you want to do, everything you want to buy, everything takes money. But you can find spaces where that's not the case still. And you wonder why, you know, so many people are just locking themselves in their homes and sitting on their phones. You know, the average person spends anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a day staring into a screen, whether it's at work, whether it's home, whether it's on your phone. But the impact that something like this has on you, man, to start your day this way, it's an incredible feeling. Get out, get some exercise, and eat some good food, some home-cooked food. You know, the meats we bought at the butcher shop yesterday. I mean, the differences in the taste and the texture of those kind of meats. You know, the animals that are used for the meat are standing right there on the farm, and it's not an industrial-sized farm or anything like that. You know, it's farm to table. Every lifestyle has its own difficulties and challenges and stuff like that, but the people out there living that simple life, man, there's just a different atmosphere about them. I guess the point is to take time in your life, not in a selfish way, but just for yourself, to decompress, to find a way to let go of some of the stresses and all the expectations that we have that just seem insurmountable and just crushing, and you know, finding ways to just level yourself and ground yourself back into what the world really is supposed to be. it makes a big difference, man. I'll leave it right there. Have a good one. Get outside, watch the sunrise, maybe with somebody you care a lot about, and just sit quietly and listen. Just kind of feel the moment. Yeah, I guess that's it. You know, just try to feel the moment, be in the moment.